What do you consider to be the top 2 or 3 most important roles and responsibilities of the school board?
Well, that's no problem here. I've already mentioned it, and unless they're addressed, all the rest of it will relatively meaningless. One is the attitudes, and we've already gone over that. I will not belabor that. We all have to, on the same sheet of music, and we to break down all those barriers, and it won't happen. You don't change attitudes overnight, but that we got to bridge that gap, and the sooner the better. The next thing is transparency. There's a huge amount of, in my canvassing, going from door to door and so forth. Hey, we don't trust these people. What are they doing with the money? We make some inquiries, and I could tell you about some things. I've been to the school board situation. I said, hey, this doesn't seem right, the commingling of funds and so forth, but nobody wants to address those particular issues. And of course, I'm on the outside. And so once we get the audit, so people can feel confident, and it's all you have to do is look at West Covina and Mike Spence up there. They just had an audit, and that's supposed to, they've had audits every year. Everything was supposed to be fine until they just had the recent one. And some people, there could be some unpleasant outcomes as sort of that. And then once that is done, once we have the possibility of getting that trust back from those taxpayers that provide the mother's milk of education. They say that about politics, but money is the mother's milk which will allow us, and properly spent, always put that caveat in there. It's got to be properly and judiciously spent so we get that ROI, return on investment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Being a school board member, the duties and responsibilities should be setting up the policies and directions based upon community needs and students' needs. And also that set up the programs that to make sure to follow the directions, set up the budget to follow the directions based upon the policies that we have set up. And second thing I would like to do, I think it's important, is to set up the accountability. I think accountability is the fundamental things that in any organization. We have in Roland, we have about 2,000 students, 2,000 employees. This is a very big organization. How do we hold every single employees, including teachers, principals, administrators, accountable? That's something that I will look into it. Only through the accountability, we can make sure that everyone is doing what they're supposed to do. And I think that's very important in this organization. That's a fundamental thing that we can provide to our students to make sure that our students will be learning in the way they're supposed to learn, in the environment they're supposed to learn, and be successful as we all hope.
Thank you, Ms. Neal. Ms. Greenwood.
Okay, I think that we should have great communication as a board member. We need to make sure the community knows what's going on, the staff, everybody in Roland Unified should know what is going on. That is our job. Community needs to know everything that we do. We're voted by the community, we owe that to them. I also believe that when we vote, we need to find out the facts before we vote yes or no on any issue. I am not afraid to ask a lot of questions to find out. There will be looking around, asking people, and things like that, because you cannot vote unless you know everything. And the last thing would be, I lost my train of thought, I'm so sorry. The last thing is, as a board member, you need to be seen. When there are activities, you need to be there. The most exciting thing about being on board for me is when we go and visit the classrooms and see the teachers teaching their students and the classified staff working with their students. The board members need to be seen at the schools, at all the activities, as much as possible. I believe that is very important as a board member.
Thank you, Ms. Greenwood.
Board members need to be more accountable and transparent on all the decision making and the fundings. As everybody knows, all the resources, all the fundings are from our hard-earned money. we need to make, as a board member, we need to make sure that the resources are put into the right places. Board members, just like the CEO of an organization, they need to use the right people and then supervise them to make the goal, to achieve the goal. And so that's why it's very important for the board members to step out into the community, to talk to different school principals or the parents, or into the join the community activities to find out what our community really needs or what they really want. It's not just inside a meeting with 5 board members talking about what they think that our community needs. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Stewart. Mr. Melvin?
I guess I'm old-fashioned in this respect. From my background in consulting with mental health facilities, I find that in order to be successful, you need a focus. And I feel that the board is responsible to establish that focus. And for our school system, it's our vision. And we have a vision for the school system. It was developed by the community, by the stakeholders, by the teachers, by everybody. And we developed a vision. Then we developed a mission based on that, and then developed goals on how we were going to achieve that. The board that gets elected is responsible to see that we follow that, and that it doesn't become something of a wall decoration. And just to be very plain and simple, that we're responsible to see that that vision, mission, and goals are met, and that all decisions we make are in line with that. And it's that simple.
Thank you, Mr. Malcolm. I believe we have time for one more question before we go to closing.